Right, well, we're getting back to those all-important names, of course, to help you with your lineups. And we are starting our Sizzlers. Now, these are the guys that when we look at the stats and all the intangibles and do our re-ranking, they really shoot up. And, well, the first name is Sam Burns. We were big on him last week for the American Express. It wasn't his week, but the things that he had to do well or things that he did badly last week, they're not going to be so important for him this week at Torrey Pines.
Well, the reason, Diane, that I'm so big on Sam Burns, I was big on him last week, but if you go a little deeper in what happened last week, he missed the cut. I think he was 77 the first day, made 2 double bogeys on the front 9 and just got off on the wrong foot. Came back the second day, I think he shot 66. But this week, Diane, he is number 1 on this list between driving accuracy and driving distance combined. I think 5th on the whole PGA Tour. Mm-hmm. That tells me he's young, he's strong, he wants to win. I'm all over Sam Burns as a sizzler this week.
It's so funny. If we were to get a room of 100 people and say, who do you think is number 1 on the whole PGA Tour for total driving? I'm confident that nobody would say Sam Burns.
Yeah, we know this week, Diane, with the cold weather coming, that the guy who hits it the furthest down there in the fairway will have the biggest advantage. Well, mathematically, that's the guy. Sam Burns is the guy that hits it the furthest and the straightest.
But also he's 8th greens in regulation on the tour and 12th for par 5 birdie or better. So even just looking at those 3 numbers, he's hitting it down there, he's keeping it in the fairway, he's hitting the greens, and he's making birdies.
Yeah, I mean, the reason he's 8th in greens and reg is because he's so far down there in the fairway. And by the way, if you're in the rough this week, there'll be no greens in reg almost.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, second guy that we have as a sizzler finished 3rd at the American Express. He had an incredible round on Sunday. Well, just a great weekend overall. He is Cameron Davis.
Cam Davis from Australia, who lives in Seattle. Just a young guy that's strong. I talked about at the top of this show, Diane, I'm all about the young guys this week that are flexible and can play with a lot of gear on and hit it straight and long and fight. Mm-hmm. And I'm all about that fight this week because it's going to be tough. And we don't have any of the old guys on our list this week because, well, let's face it, they don't move as good as some of the young guys. But I love Cam Davis and I love everything about his game.
I'm going to say the thing that we always say about the Australian guys is that they grew up playing in the wind. It's going to be windy this week in San Diego. And living in Seattle, he's used to the rain and the gloom. So those are big boxes that he ticks.
It's important. I mean, if you want to practice and it's raining all the time, you got to practice in the rain. I mean, Scotland, Diane, hello. This is Scotland this week.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's good for a certain Russell Knox as well then. That would be fun. Okay, the next sizzler is a guy that I was really big on this week, and he does make jumps up. I should say, actually, Cameron Davis, 60-1, Sam Burns, 80-1. This third sizzler is another young guy, and he's 90-1. Now, he actually first appeared on my radar at this tournament 2 years ago when Justin Rose won. He was really in contention on the Sunday and played amazingly well. And then when you look at his numbers, he's 11th on the PGA Tour for total driving. It could be a great week for Talor Gooch.
Yeah, Talor Gooch I remember when watching him last year or the year before when he played well, I said, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But when you look at who is he and what's he doing on the tour, one thing stands out. You just mentioned he's a long hitter, but he hits it straight. Why does that convert here? Because it's so difficult to get the ball on the green where you can do anything with it on this course. And if the conditions are wet, that knocks out 80 guys already that are way back. So Talor Gooch has a huge advantage, and I'm very pleased with your pick. I'm letting you have this pick, Diane.
Okay, so our 3 sizzlers are Cameron Davis, Sam Burns, and Talor Gooch.